Yan, hello and good afternoon po sa ating lahat, no? Maraming salamat for being with us here again sa ating skills training series, no? Ito na po ang pang-apat, fourth installment ng ating training series, no? And you'll be giving more. Marami pa tayong naka-line up na training series na for all of our teachers. Kaya lang syempre we expect no that mas busy na mga teachers ngayon, but we thank you, maraming salamat no for those na nandito pa din, willing to learn, unlearn and relearn things no, despite the schedule, the difficulty of our situation now no. Lalo ngayon medyo alam ko pagod na po tayo ngayon. Nasa for our public school teachers, nasa fourth day na po tayo ng deployment no ng ating um, ah, online classes or mga modular deployment ng ating mga modules. Okay, so before po siguro tayo mag-start, no, maraming siguro po bago tayo mag-start, kumustahin ko muna po kayo. So kumusta po, no? Let's share in our chat box, our live chat, no. Kumusta po ang first 4 days ng ating modules, okay, or ating online or distance learning. Okay, so yan po. And shoutout din po siguro no yung mga ating mga viewers no. Siguro mag-shoutout po tayo ng ilan sa ating mga viewers ngayon. Sir Romel Rosita kay mula sa Alitagtag National High School. Okay, kamusta po Sir Romel? Okay. Miss Victoria Seno, okay, from Quezon Province. Yes, from Quezon Province. Okay, taga Quezon po ako. Ako po ay taga Ginayangan, Quezon. Okay, so kami po yung medyo nasa may bandang dulo na, no, malapit na kami sa Bicol. Hello po, Miss Victoria Seno, aking kababayan mula sa Quezon. Um, Siguro po, sino pa bang pwede nating And again, no, teachers, no, please do share, no, kumusta po ang inyong first 4 days? Din po sa mga nagsimula last October 5. Yan. Kami po kasi matagal na kami nag-start, no? July pa lang nag-start na kami ng aming distance learning, online distance learning. Okay. From Miss or Shahani Galaron. Okay, good afternoon watching from Sarangani Division. Wilma Lopez, okay, from Pangasinan State University. Hello po. Meron din po ako mag-anak sa Pangasinan, no? Sumulong Elementary, Juan Sumulong. Ito po ba yung malapit sa Antipolo? Okay. Kasi currently po nasa Antipolo kami, no? Ma'am Yan Kumi from Valenzuela City, Kanumay East National High School. Miss Mariam Manalundong, okay, shout out from Marawi City. Yes, Marawi City, Lanao del Sur. Kumusta po kayong lahat dyan? Miss Tin Florida, magandang hapon po. Watching from San Pablo City, Laguna. Okay, and Miss Jerlyn Espirito from Taguig City. And ang dami po, no? Good afternoon, Miss Jean L. Aquino from Tarlac City. And hindi ko na po mapili lahat, ano? From Laguna State Polytechnic University. Kumusta po kayo, Miss Nora Matusalem? Okay, parang very familiar si Miss Nora, no? Parang isa to sa mga avid viewers natin. So yan, okay. Uh, so again po, dun sa mga nag-deploy po ng mga modules nila, congratulations po, no? Ngayon pa lang po, nagko-congrats na ako sa inyong lahat kasi hindi po madali at hindi po um, basta-basta no, pag-deploy ng ating mga modules, mahaba ang pinagdaanan niyan. So, and teachers, no, currently, madami tayong natatanggap na mga criticisms o kaya mga komento sa ating mga modules. Huwag po tayo masyadong magpa-apekto dyan. Ano? Always stand firm no, sa ating responsibilities, sa ating direction. No? Definitely, magkakaroon naman talaga ng mga flaws. No one says naman na it will be a perfect modules na walang mistakes or etc. No? But let's remain steadfast to the things that we have to do. At wag po tayong patitinag. Okay? Kung wag mo meron po mga mali, i-correct po natin yan sa susunod nating deployment ng ating mga modules at patuloy po tayong umusad pasulong. No? So wag po tayong, hindi po ito yung time para sumuko. Okay, para sa ating mga estudyante, no? Sabi nga natin, para sa bata, para sa bayan. Okay. So, teachers, bago tayo siguro mag-start, some reminders, no? Some reminders. Lagi ko naman na po itong sinasabi at um, lagi ko na rin 'tong nire-remind sa inyong lahat 'no, para lang po tayo ay, informed 'no. Okay, so this since, for this, webinar, okay, the evaluation link will be given at the end of the training. So, abangan po natin 'no. Kayo pong mga live viewers will have this, the first access no to our evaluation link, which means teachers no ibig sabihin yung data nyo will be on the first then of the evaluation form, which means kayo rin po ang unang mabibigyan ng mga certificates. Okay, dapat po ganun yung mangyayari, no? Okay, and since it's a skill training program, there will be an assessment. Okay, meron po kaming pa-quiz sa loob ng evaluation, no? So expect po natin yan. Okay, after answering the evaluation and passing the assessment, your certificates will be sent to you via email in 5 to 7 days. Okay, so yan po ang ating some reminders. Huwag po nating kalimutan. No? Lagi po misa kasi yung mga tanong, kailan daw po dadating ang kanilang mga certificates. Usually po naman, pinapadala po namin yan in 5 to 7 days. No? Hindi pa naman siguro kami sobrang nalilate. Except lang teachers, no, sometimes natatagalan dahil minsan naiipit yung certificates nyo sa spam folder. So, lagi nyo pong i-check yung mga spam folders nyo. Wala pong virus ang aming mga certificates. Just so happen that we always send no around 2 to 3,000 certificates no, which means 2 to 3,000 emails every day, which means na natatag na kami ni Gmail as a spam, okay? Kasi nga madami kami masyadong pinapadalang email every day. Okay? So please do be patient, no, teachers. On us, especially we're a very small group, no. Mostly volunteers lang po kami talaga to deliver assistance to teachers in whatever way we can. Okay? So yan po. Maraming salamat. Okay. So teachers, let me first introduce to you okay, our speaker for today who will be giving us our training for today. No? Kasi isa po ay isang close friend din. No? Okay. Yan. Okay, napakita ko na po siya kanina. Okay. So teachers, our speaker for today is Mr. Dominic Sales, kaya a Google Certified Educator, level 2. Okay? Kasi may levels po 'yan, no? Okay, by the way, teachers, no, yung mga class number 1 ng ating GCE training, may class po tayo sa Saturday, wag po nating kalimutan. A Philippine Robotics team, no? Very active and just recently, teachers, if you've seen sa mga news, si Sir Dominic din po ay member ng group na nag-produce ng isang project na called CNAT app and CNAT device that actually allows our frontliners to measure or places no to have this device that allows them to measure temperatures which collects no and collates this information to help our frontliners, our government determine no locations, kay data processing of people na merong high fever. Okay, so napakaganda po ng mga projects ni Sir Dominic. And recently din po, siya rin po ang nag-initiate ng Project Tablet na nagbigay ng mga tablets sa mga estudyante. No? Meron na po siya mga sponsored students na binigyan ng tablet para po makapag-online distance learning. So today, the person we're going to meet today is a very active teacher who initiate projects for teachers, for students. Talagang tumutulong lang siya hangga't kaya niya. And siya rin po naging inspirasyon ko sa page na to. So actually nabuo ang YouTube channel ko, ang itong projects na to dahil sa kanya. Siya yung nag-inspire, tumulong, nag-guide sa akin all throughout the process. Kaya po ako nandito ngayon, teachers ko. So lahat po ng ginagawa namin ngayon ay utang na loob din namin kay Sir Dominic Sales. Okay, so yan po hindi namin kayang makalimutan. And we're lucky, no? Very busy Sir Dominic kasi well sought speaker din siya no from sa iba't ibang mga engagements. Pero naglaan po siya ng oras niya ngayon no para sa ating lahat. Kahit gaano po siya ka-busy. Very squeezed tight na po itong schedule na 'to. Ito po yung pinaka-common time namin na pwede natin siyang ma-invite today. So, we're glad to have Sir Dominic Sales with us to help us understand further how to use Open Broadcaster Software or OBS Studio. Magandang hapon po, Sir Dominic. Okay. Napakahaba po ng introduction ko, no? Siyempre, kailangan kong i-introduce ng gano'n, eh. Hindi ko puwedeng, ikliin. Yun na yung pinakamaikli kong introduction para sa'yo, Sir Dominic, okey. Actually, madami pa akong gustong sabihin at gustong, i-introduce ka 'no. Kaya lang, sayang sa'yo yung oras, eh, baka mas madami silang matututunan sa'yo ngayon, about, OBS, okey. So, Sir Dominic, siguro before tayo mag-start, siguro ano lang, very brief, introduction lang what our audience now, our viewers now would be able to get from this training.
All right. Ayan. So, Sir Franco, naririnig mo ba ako?
Yes, clear naman.
May times kasi na unstable yung internet and sometimes okay naman. Ayan. So, good afternoon po sa lahat. So, yun, no? So, late, super late. For this session for OBS, ang matututunan ng mga viewers natin ay first course the OBS, how to download OBS, how to properly set up OBS, and how to use OBS to record your for example, recording when we're doing online display. And at the same time, tuturo ko din po yung set up OBS for live streaming po. Ayan. Yan lang po yun sa mga natin for this one.
Yun. Sir Dominic, no, may feedback lang sa ating audience. May nag-e-echo daw po ng konti. So hindi ko lang po alam, baka an earphone would do that. No? Pero don't worry, audience, no. Yun, ayusin pa. Medyo teachers, no, pagpasensya na po na ngayon kasi medyo masama po ang panahon. Actually, dito rin sa Antipolo, we actually had a power interruption kanina. And nasa Cavite area po si Sir Dominic and medyo hindi po maganda rin yung panahon, no? So, we will have to be a little bit patient on maybe the technical aspects of our training session for today. Magkakaroon ng konting lag, audio problems, but I hope we get to be able to sustain, no, and follow through. Anyway, teachers, kung magkaroon ng tayo ng problem, this video is a recorded video presentation or training session. So you may view it a little later. No? So you may view it a little later. Yan. Okay, so po,
Alright. Sir, okay.
Sir, yun, test po ulit tayo, Sir Dominic. Okay, so I think Sir Dominic, we can proceed.
Sir, may feedback pa ba, sir? Right, sa mga viewers natin.
Yun, actually very patient naman, mababait ang viewers natin. Yan, okay, so yan, okay na daw, sir. Okay, so I think I can exit now and you may already proceed with the training session, sir. Good luck and we'll see you again later for the question and answer.
Okay.
Okay. So don't worry, don't forget, teachers, no. For your questions, please do reserve them towards the end so we'll be able to entertain them. Although I'll be at the chat box to monitor. Okay?
Good afternoon po sa lahat ng mga viewers natin. Ayan. So, teachers, sorry po, no, medyo mahina yung internet connection natin. But then, kapag meron pong times na naglalag yung connectivity and at the same time, hindi clear yung audio or yung video, please let me know po sa comment section para sa ganun, makapag-post po tayo and at the same time, para maulit po natin yung demonstration. Okay? So, first, let me share my screen. This will be my screen. Sorry. Okay. So, ito po yung ating screen. I hope you can see my screen for my presentation. So, this is actually a very short presentation wherein ay didiscuss ko lang po sa inyo yung how to download OBS and at the same time, the four reasons why OBS is really good for online distance learning and reasons why OBS is really good for live streaming. Okay, so I am Dominic Sales, a Google Certified Educator Level 2, and also a certified Apple teacher and part of Philippine Robotics team. So let's first define or ano nga ba itong tinatawag na OBS, right? So OBS po is actually a software wherein it allows the user to display multiple cameras or it allows the user to use this application or software to record the screen and it also allows the user to stream the event or stream yung mismong screen po niya. So basically, OBS is a production level software. Alright po. So ito ay free. Na-download po siya in internet if you have computer, if you have a desktop or any sort of gadget, pwede po siyang ma-download and ma-install sa inyong computer. Right? So again, it's free. Okay? And of course, there are 4 reasons why use OBS. Okay? So ito yung mga 4 na nilista kong reasons kung bakit maganda gamitin ang OBS. Number 1 is 100% free. It provides you with everything you need in order to start streaming. For example, during sessions po ninyo, online distance learning, magagamit nyo si OBS to stream your recordings. For example, if you have YouTube, kagaya niyan, itong kaagapay, merong YouTube. So, pwedeng gumamit ng OBS para sa ganun, ma-stream ninyo yung video ninyo sa YouTube or sa Facebook. Okay? Usually, OBS din ay ginagamit ng mga gamers para mag-stream ng kanilang mga games. Right? So, ito ay 100% free. Number 2 is it's constantly growing. Okay? It's constantly growing, which means to say po, maraming developers, okay, ang nagjo-join for this community to develop or enhance OBS in such a way na makikater lahat ng mga requests ng mga users, ng mga viewers. Okay? So, for example, gusto ng viewers na multiple screens, gusto ng viewers na multiple audio, gusto ng viewers na merong noise cancellation, smooth transition, then yun po yung ginagawa ng mga developers. So it's constantly growing. Parang itong kaagapay po, right? So it's constantly growing. Number 3 is it's open source. Okay? So pag sinabi nating open source, ito po ay libre at the same time, pwede po siyang i-download and install in different operating systems. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng operating system? Ito po yung ano pong, let's say, type ng software meron na naka-install sa inyong computer. Let's say, Windows computer, Linux computer, or OS X computer or the Mac. Okay? Yung Mac po na OS natin. So, it's open source and it's also free. Number 4 is that it's highly customizable. Okay? So, nako-customize po siya. Okay? So, the amount of plugins and capabilities you have while using this software is enormous. So, later on po, Church, ipapakita ko po kung paano gagamitin si OBS in such a way na mag-present, in such a way na makapag-record, and in such a way na makapag-live stream using OBS. Na pwede siyang i-customize, pwedeng lakihan ang picture, pwedeng bawasan ang size ng picture, pwedeng maglagay ng audio, pwedeng maglagay ng output na audio and at the same time camera. So ito po yung mga 4 reasons why OBS is a really good software to use during online distance learning at the same time, right? And of course, where to get OBS? Simply you open your browser po, since it's free, you can just type obsproject.com. So makikita nyo po yung mismong OBS po doon. And then right after mag-load yung website ng OBS, makita niyo po yung different installers na associated po sa inyong operating system. For example, if you're using Windows computer, then just press Windows. If you're using Mac OS computer, then just press Mac OS. Of course, I think wala naman po sa ating gumagamit ng Linux dito. So usually Windows and Mac OS lang din. So simply open obsproject.com and click the desired operating system associated to your computer. Okay, so punta lang po kayo sa download part, dun sa link, okay, and then lalabas po yung mismong installer. Okay, and of course, ayan, click download and choose the compatible installer for your computer. All right, so yun po. And also we have the minimum OS requirements. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, Cheers, ay kailangan pasok po yung inyong software and hardware components sa inyong computer para sa ganun, mas maganda po yung quality or mas maganda po or smooth yung magiging kalalabasan ng inyong recording or ng inyong streaming. Of course, number one po dyan, kailangan meron, pag magla-live stream po tayo, kailangan ng magandang internet connection. Alright? And for Windows po, it's Windows 7 or later. Ibig sabihin po nun, Windows 7 or Windows 10 po pwedeng gamitin. Alright? For Mac OS po, it's OS X 10.13 or later. Okay? And ayan, meron pong gumagamit ng Linux si Ma'am Leticia. Right? Ayan, so OS X 10.13 or later, okay? Yung kung meron na po yung updated na version ng Mac, it's okay. And also Linux distributions of 2014, starting 2014 or later, which means until 2020 pwede po yun. Okay? And at the same time, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, continuously growing po, no? Kapag po nag-update ng panibagong OS, automatic po na na-adapt naman po ng OBS. That's why it's very good to use OBS. Ayan po. Alright, so I think, Cheers, na-open nyo na yung OBS na site and I think dinadownload nyo na po siya. And ipapakita ko po ngayon yung environment ng OBS. But first, let me open obsproject.com. Alright, so here is obsproject.com. Ayan po siya. So medyo may kabagalan lang po ng internet pero kayang-kaya pa rin po. Ayan, so again, as I mentioned a while ago, you may choose Windows. Alright, i-click nyo lang po yung Windows kung Windows. Alright, then automatic po madadownload yung mismong installer. And cancel ko po muna ito. And if you're using OS, Mac OS, then just press Mac OS. Ayan po. Of course, hindi lang installer makikita ninyo sa mismong website ng OBS. You can also see blog, help, and forum wherein mas marami rin po kayong matututunan if you open blog, help, and forum po. So just simply scan, browse, navigate the website of OBS po. Alright? So nandito po lahat. Usually yung mga features, how to get started with the OBS, and makita niyo po dito. Wherein, ito naman po yung i-discuss natin para sa ganun, meron na po kayong basic knowledge on how to use OBS. Ayan po. I-scan nyo lang po siya later on. Alright? So you can create professional productions, scenes, ayan po, resources, and you can collaborate. Alright? So sobrang laki po ng pwedeng gawin nyo using OBS. Alright? And since na-download ko na po yung OBS, this time, ang gagawin ko po is to share again my screen wherein ipapakita ko po yung mismong environment ng OBS. Alright? So, if I'm going too fast, Cheers, please let me know in the comment section. Alright? Now, let me open OBS. Here is OBS. And initially, Cheers, ang makikita nyo po dito is yung mismong black screen. Ito yung welcome screen. Okay? Ito po yung welcome screen natin. Okay? So, ito yung mismong environment ng OBS. Ayan, napakasimple lang po siya, napakadaling intindihin. Okay? So, makikita po natin dito yung mga menu bar natin. Alright? So, usually, hindi ko rin ginagamit usually ito kasi gumagamit ako ng shortcut keys. Okay? And yung parts po na pinaka-importante, yung nasa baba. Okay? Yung scene na tinatawag natin, itong scene na to parang ito yung transition, alright? Wherein, kapag nag-create ka ng multiple scenes, pwede mong mabago yung display sa mismong screen mo, alright? And each scene, pwede po kayong gumawa ng multiple sources, alright? Multiple sources. Parang ang ibig sabihin po nito, the scene is the layer, and the sources are the different objects or components that you can put into a single scene. Alright? So usually, ginagamit ko si scene para lumipat sa ibang, let's say, from camera na full face into a smaller face na camera, into into a keynote presentation or into media presentation. Okay? So parang ganun po yung ginagawa sa scene and sources. Okay? And also, you can see here po itong mixer natin, audio and mic mixer. So pwede niyo pong i-edit to later on, lakasan or bawasan yung sounds or yung noise. Okay? And at the same time, yung scene transition, wherein kapag meron po kayong multiple scenes, for example, scene 5 and up to scene 5, pwede niyo pong iset kung anong klase ng transition yung pag-switch into a scene 1, into scene 2, or up to scene 5. So pwede po kayong pumili dito. Later on po, ipapakita ko din po yan. Alright? So ito po yung mga different na transitions natin. And the duration, meaning po nito, yung duration po is simply the speed wherein gaano kabilis mag-e-effect yung transition. Right? Gaano kabilis mag-e-effect yung transition. Okay? So I hope that's clear. 300 ms, that means to say it's the speed, okay, the time. So 300 milliseconds po. Kung gusto niyo, let's say 5 seconds speed, it should be 5,000 dito, right? And some of the controls here: start streaming, start recording, studio mode, settings, and of course, no need to explain, exit na po. No? Now, moment of truth, ipapakita ko po sa inyo na how to create different sources and how to create multiple scenes. Okay? So basically, pinag-aaralan po natin itong si OBS for you to be able to use this for your online distance learning. Or pwede nyo gamitin para mag-record lang kayo ng presentation niyo. Alright? So first, we have here the scene. So pwede tayong mag-create ng panibagong scene. Just simply press the plus sign. Okay? Plus sign lang po. Ayan. Okay, so meron po kaagad lalabas dito. Please enter the name of the scene. Ayan, so please enter the name of the scene. Ibig sabihin po, pwede niyong palitan yung scene name. Alright, so pwede sabihin natin na camera. Okay, usually maganda po na i-name natin yung scene natin in such a way na madali nating maintindihan. If that scene is intended for your camera only, full face camera only, then gamitin po natin yung proper naming convention na tinatawag. Right? Yan, so okay lang po natin siya. Ayan. So, meron na tayong dalawang scene, yung camera and then yung scene, yung default scene. For us to be able to delete this scene, you simply press delete in our keyboard. So, pwede rin po natin i-delete lang. Press lang natin yung delete. Or, simply yung minus sign po. Alright? Minus sign. Ayan. And then, my prompt na message, are you sure you wish to remove? And then, simply click yes. Yan, so yes lang po natin. Yan, notice nyo po, Church, no? Na nawala po yung ating yung default scene natin. So, ganun lang po mag-add ng scene and mag-delete ng scene. Of course, etong mga arrow up and arrow down na to, Church, ito po yung tinatawag na if you want to switch place, okay? Mag-switch po ng place in between scenes. For example, meron kayong multiple scenes. This is presentation, for example. Ayan. And gusto nyo na mauna si presentation para hindi kayo malito, you simply click the arrow and mag-switch po sila ng place na ni camera and presentation. Ayan po. So, pangalawa na si camera. So, yun po yung part ng scenes natin. Okay? So, balik po natin sa simula. Sa camera po muna tayo. And of course, gaya ng sabi ko po kanina, each scene can have multiple sources. So, magdadagdag po tayo ng sources. Okay? So, camera, under camera, maglalagay po tayo ng, of course, camera meron siyang source na camera. So, maglalagay lang po tayo ng plus sign here. Click yung plus sign. And since it's a camera, then it should be video capture device. Alright? So video capture device, i-click lang po natin to. And then create new or add existing. Kung meron na kayong existing na ginawang sources, then it's okay. So since it's new, lalagay ko lang po dito, my camera. It's up to you, church, kung anong gusto nyong ilagay na name ng camera niyo. But for me, it should be my camera. Okay? Now, napaka-importante po na make source visible. Napaka-importante na i-check po itong make source visible. It is because kapag naka-uncheck po, wala po tayong makita doon. Right? So, simply press OK kapag okay na po tayo sa name and na-select na yung make source visible. And then press OK. Ayan po. And then this time, another prompt will open. Okay, asking us, we need to select the device. For example, we have multiple cameras, yung camera ng ating computer, yung camera ng ating desktop off, or kung meron tayong extra camera na ginagamit. Let's say, for example, DSLR camera or camera ng cellphone. So, pwedeng-pwede lang po yun. Okay? So, select po natin yung device. For me, I have two cameras, the snap camera, which is meron siyang mga filter, and yung FaceTime HD camera. Ito yung default na camera ng aking computer. So, simply selecting default. Alright? So, ayan, nakikita niyo na po ako sa mismong OBS. This is my camera right now. Alright? And also, you can set the size of your camera or your screen. Ayan, so 1280 by 720 or simply choose high. Ngayon, ang kagandahan po nitong OBS, if you're having a very, for example, ako, mahina yung internet connection ko, I can simply downgrade the camera settings or the size of my screen. So 320 to 240. So yan po pipiliin nyo. But if ito ay local lang, recording lang po siya, and you don't need to live stream it, choose high na lang po kaagad. Okay? So recommended, if it's recording lang, you choose high. Alright? Ayan po. So high po yung gagamitin natin. Alright? And then also, if medyo naligaw po kayo sa settings, you can just i-load po ninyo yung defaults para sa ganun babalik po siya sa initial na setup. Alright? And just simply press OK once done. Ayan po. So you can see yung OBS ko, yung nakikita nyo po ngayon, yan po yung aking camera. As I mentioned a while ago, you can customize the camera, you can customize the sources. So ngayon ipapakita ko how to customize the source. Okay? So ito po, makita nyo po yung parang label na red. Alright? That's the border actually. That's the size. So pwede po nating habaan or lakihan yung ating camera. You can also move the camera. Okay? You can move the camera. You can resize the camera. Right? So pwede nyo pong i-resize na ganyan. Usually, ito ginagamit po natin when we do the presentation. Nilalagay natin dito sa baba, nilalagay natin sa taas, or dito sa part na to if we're doing recording sa ating presentation. Ayan po, no? So as you can see, pwede siyang customize. Okay? So simply select yung endpoint and then you can move the camera to resize this. Alright? Also, at the same time, if you want to like simply equally na ma-resize yung camera, i-press nyo po yung mismong tinatawag na function or shift sa inyong keyboard para sa ganun equal yung pagkaka-resize niya. Okay? Or if you want to, let's say, pahaba lang siya, ayan, sorry, ayan, so pahaba lang po yung pagkaka-resize, ayan, pinapress ko yung shift, okay, I'm holding shift para sa ganun, may stretch ko yung mismong video ko. Alright, so yun po. If you're pressing shift, ma-customize mo yung size ng yung camera. Okay? So again, ibabalik ko lang siya sa dati shift and then move my camera into its default setting. Ayan. So, ito po yung ating camera. So, usually, cheers, ito, ginagamit ko itong part na to, itong source na to. If magre-record po ako, like, magprepresent ako sa mga students ko, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first session. Our session for today is all about coding and robotics. Ayan. So, ito po yung part na makikita muna nila. And then, right after this scene, ipapress ko lang po si presentation para lumipat po siya sa mismong presentation ko. Okay? So, first scene po natin is camera, and then the next scene is the presentation. Now, if I'm talking basically po, makikita niyo po yung audio mixer natin na nandito. Meron po siyang default na microphone dito. Well, if you have an extra microphone, so pwede po kayong magdagdag ng microphone. So how to do that? You simply, again, plus sign, alright? Plus sign, and then choose po ninyo yung audio input capture. Alright? Yung audio input capture. Press, and then, of course, you need to select, again, or change the name, audio, let's say my audio or my microphone. Para sa ganun hindi po kayo malito. Now, kung meron kang existing na scene or source, then you simply add existing. Okay? And after ma-type yung name, you simply press OK. Iyan po siya. And then, choose the audio device or yung ating mismong source kung saan manggagaling yung audio po natin. So, I have two here. So, ito po is MacBook Pro. And then press OK. Now, upon pressing OK, you can see here, cheers, na meron akong dalawang microphone. Alright? So, ito yung default na microphone and ito yung my microphone. Now, since gumagawa kayo ng recording and ayaw nyo na masyadong malakas yung recording, you can simply reduce, ayan po, okay, yung input natin, i-reduce lang po natin. Ayan. So, pwede niyo pong i-customize yung settings niya. Alright? Lock volume, unhide, hide, rename. Kung meron kayong ginawang filters, you can also copy the filters, the layout, okay, properties, advanced. So, medyo advanced na rin po yung part na to. But basically, what you want to do lang is to simply add an audio or a microphone in your presentation. Okay? And the same way, meron din po tayong move up and move down. Okay, so pwede nyo pong palipatin yung dalawa, okay, pag-switch ng mismong position. Alright? So, that's it for our first scene. Okay? The next part is yung ginawa po natin na pangalawang scene, which is the presentation. Ito po siya. Now, na-notice po ninyo, when I pressed the presentation, naging black na yung aking workspace. Wherein, ang ibig sabihin po niyan, wala pong nakalagay na kahit anong sources dito. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina. If you're doing a presentation, sa simula, you want your students to see your full face muna. And then, let's say for example, good morning everyone. My name is Dominic Sales and our topic for today is coding and robotics. And for my presentation, then click nyo na po yung scene na presentation. Magpapakita kagad yung presentation ninyo. Okay? So since we have this scene, let's add a new source. Click po natin yung add. Alright? And then, of course, ano ba yung presentation natin? First, you want to make sure na it's a display capture or a window capture. So, medyo minsan nakakalito po to. Display capture and window capture. So, let me explain. Ang ibig sabihin ng window capture, it's the portion of a specific application or a specific software na naka-open. For example, I have a PowerPoint presentation. So when I want to display my PowerPoint presentation, kahit mag-switch ako in between what do you call this one, windows or in between softwares, hindi po makikita yung ibang pine-press ko except yung mismong sinelect ko na window. Again, kung meron akong naka-open na, let's say, Google Chrome, merong PowerPoint presentation na naka-open, merong naka-open na music player, and I chose window capture, and then nung press kong window capture, sinelect ko lang yung presentation, then, si presentation lang po yung makikita nyo sa screen. Wala pong ibang window. Selected lang po siya. And, when we say display capture, this is actually yung display po ninyo. The whole or the totality of your screen. That's the display capture. Okay? So, display capture is the totality of your screen. Okay? So, let's try to use display capture muna first. Ayan. And then again, create a new name for your display capture for us to be able to, kapag nag-switch tayo ng scenes and sources, makita na, okay, this is my presentation. So, my presentation. Pwede rin church na ang ilagay niyo sa presentation, the title of your presentation, yung topic mismo. Let's say, coding and robotics. Kasi I'm teaching coding and robotics. Ayan. So, again, make source visible is really important. You don't want to mess with this source. So, dapat na-select lang po yan. And then, when you're done with the name, you simply press OK. And of course, again, merong window na lalabas. And you need to choose kung anong window po. Ayan. So, as you can see, there's no window anymore kasi we're choosing like the display capture, which means to say it's everything. Alright? It's everything po. So, ayan po, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, please make sure na if you're choosing display capture, your entire screen will be recorded, will be seen. And if you're choosing window capture, a portion of your screen or an application will be just, makikita lang po sa inyong screen. Okay? So, but the good thing here is you can show your cursor or you can hide your cursor. It's up to you. Okay? If you're doing presentation, maybe you don't want to show your cursor or maybe you want to show your cursor. And also you can crop. Ayan po. Ito lang yung part na medyo maganda pa rin kahit display capture. Okay? So you can choose manual, you can choose to window, you can choose to window and manual. Alright? So this is for window capture. Let's leave it default. And so i-press lang po natin yung OK. And then, church, nakikita nyo, it's entirely in a grayscale color. So, wala kayong makikita because that's my screen. So, nakita nyo right now, it's simply my screen. So, let me resize everything so that you can see na na-select po natin yung entire screen. Ito po siya. And it's moving because ito po yung entire screen ko. Ayan po. Ang nakikita niyo po for sure sa live stream natin is my entire screen. Ayan po. That's why at the center of my OBS, this is my entire screen. Parang mirror siya na doble-doble. Alright? Parang mirror po siya na doble-doble. So that is for the display. Okay? So please do take note of that, church, na minsan kailangan nating piliin yung tama na source natin. Okay, if you're doing presentation. Well, okay lang din naman po to if you're presenting your entire screen. Okay, so since we're done with this one, what I want to show you naman is how can we add an existing source sa ating presentation or sa ating presentation na scene. Okay, now, for example, chairs, and our display should be like nasa center na. Let's add another source. And we want to add a camera. Gusto nating may camera at the bottom of our presentation. Okay? So again, if camera, of course, it should be, ano po ang pipiliin natin if it's camera? It should be a video capture device. Okay? Again, if you want to show your face in your scene or in your source, it should be video capture device. Alright? Click po natin to. And then, now, ito yung sinasabi ko po kanina. We have an existing camera. Yung ginawa natin kanina sa first scene natin, yung camera, we have the my camera. As you can see here, chairs, meron po tayong my camera. So, for us to be able to lessen, no, para mabawasan yung ating effort to create to create such recordings or settings, pag-set up ng settings, we simply select add existing. Kasi meron na tayong create na camera kanina. We just call the camera. And I think kagandahan nun, we don't need to add a new camera. We don't need to add a new microphone kasi we have that in our first scene already. Pero if medyo masipag kayo and if you have like a different setting for your microphone, a different camera for your presentation, then that's okay lang naman. Alright? Again, choose my camera kasi this is my existing camera. Kanina sa first natin na source, or you can simply create a new, it's up to you choose. Now, I'm using my existing camera and then press OK. So, ito yung camera ko kanina, cheers. And so, you can now customize your camera again, lessen the size of your camera. Maybe you can put it here, it's up to you. You can resize your camera. For example, this is your presentation. This thing is your presentation. Let's try to, lakihan po natin siya. Ayan. Dito na lang po. medyo nakakalito po. At your side, medyo malilito po kayo kasi it's a display capture. Right? Later on, I'll delete this and show my keynote presentation. Hand po siya. So let's imagine that this is your excuse me, presentation and this is me explaining. So you can see na makikita ng students ninyo. Basically, mas maganda po talaga na meron yung camera ninyo when you're doing presentation, when you're recording your presentation so that your students will see your face, will see your yung mga gestures ninyo para magbigay ng emphasis, yung facial expression ninyo para magbigay ng mas maganda pang tawag doon, if gusto nyo i-emphasize yung isang bagay, so mas maganda na meron kayong camera sa presentation niyo. Number 1 po yun na rule when you're doing recording. No? Dapat meron kayong camera na nakikita ng mga viewers. Alright? So ganito lang po mag-add ng sources. Of course, meron tayong default na microphone. If you're not okay with the default microphone and you have an additional microphone, then again, the same procedure, you simply press plus. Right? You simply press plus. Okay? And then of course, choose audio input capture. Ayan, mag-add na po ulit kayo ng audio. And add existing, meron akong microphone and yung default natin kanina, it's up to you. So let me just cancel this para mabawasan po yung ating nilalagay dito. Right? Next, we have used the display capture na. Then let's try to add naman the window capture. Okay? Let's try to add the window capture. All right? So window capture, let's name it as my presentation. No, not my presentation. Real presentation na lang. Kasi yung ginawa po natin kanina is a display capture. Then para ma-check natin yung difference between display and yung mismong window capture lang. Ayan. So another prompt will appear. Window. This time, cheers, we're going to select the window, specific window that we want to show in our recording. Well, in my part, I want to show you my keynote presentation. Okay, hanapin nyo lang po yung keynote presentation nyo dito. Ayan, kung meron po kayong presentation na naka-open, then it's okay lang. Ayan, so as of now, meron akong Windows Server Cursor, desktop, full screen backdrop, and this desktop picture. So, pwede kayong pumili kung saan po dito. Alright? So, let's try. Ito lang po. Default ko lang muna. Ayan. As you can see po, yan po yung aking window or yung aking screen ng aking computer. Right? So, yan po yung screen ng aking computer. So, pwede po kayong pumili later on dito kung ano yung meron sa inyong window. Alright? So, and then, show window shadow, show windows with empty names. It's just keep it default lang po siya, kahit hindi na po i-check, alright? And then press OK. Ayan. So yung nakikita nyo po ngayon at the center is my window, etong screen na to, alright? So for us to be able to resize, how to do it is to simply hanapin po natin yung end point natin, yung red, and then i-drag lang po natin siya, okay? I-resize lang po natin siya. Ayan po siya. So resize. Okay, ayan po siya. Ito na po yung aking presentation. Let's say this is my window for presentation. Right? So, cheers! It's good thing din na dapat alam natin yung positioning ng ating presentation. Okay, for example, here, real presentation po nasa taas. So, anong mangyayari kapag nasa taas? Yung isang source. Ang mangyayari po, it's parang layer. Matatakpan po yung ibang sources natin. Okay, lalo kapag naka-max yung mismong size ng ating source. Ito, pictures, no? Ito po yung ating nasa taas. Ito, real presentation ay nasa taas. Okay? So you can hide or show. And po, yung I is to hide or to show. Right? And po. So, since nasa taas, matatakpan po yung nasa likod. Ito yung isang magandang part ng OBS. For example, meron kayong presentation at gusto niyo sa baba ng recording niyo parang merong moving text or parang reminder, no? Doon sa mga news, sa television, sa GMA, ABS, merong moving na text dito like just in, mga ganun. Yun po yung ginagawa nila. Naglalagay po sila ng extra na parang floating na component dito or object dito sa baba. Wherein, let's say this is your floating na text, na message, na nag-move siya. So basically, kapag moving yung text, it's a movie. Alright? So, dapat ang piliin nyo dun is, ang tawag dun, it should be a media source. Okay? So, media source po dun. Alright? So, ayan, so pwede nyo rin i-resize. Now, in case naman, na this is your presentation talaga, for you to be able to, hindi ma-overlap yung iba yung presentation or yung camera ninyo, again, ang gagawin po natin is to select the source and to simply press yung arrow up para mag-move. Okay? Arrow up para mag-move sa taas. Or you simply, select the source and then you can simply drag and drop it. Okay? So again, move natin sa taas. So as you can see, ito na po yung aking camera. Nasa baba na po siya. Nagpakita na po siya. Or, ito naman po, yung my presentation na nauna, let's say, itong background na to, itong blue na mountain na to, this will be your background. So ang mangyayari po ay magkakaroon ng parang background. Okay? So, i-move lang po natin to. Ayan. Ayan na po siya. Alright? So, ganun lang po siya kadaling intindihin. Cheers. Yung different na pag-change ng source and pag-change ng mismong layer natin para sa ganun ma-optimize ninyo yung gamit ng OBS. Okay? So, wait lang po, cheers. No? Medyo low battery na pala ako. Sir Franco, are you there? Let me just charge my my computer for a while. Ayan. So, medyo battery low na po ako. Cheers, Sir Franco. Sorry. Ayan. And I'm back. Cheers. Sorry. Sorry, Sir Franco. Sir Franco, nakamute ka daw.
Ang dami kong sinabi, nakamute pala ako. Sorry, teachers. Maraming salamat po. Anyway, so good evening again, teacher. Ayan na si Sir Dominic, no? So we can continue na po ulit ang ating training session. Sir Dominic, okay na po tayo?
Sir, yes, sir. Okay
Yeah,
na.
thank
Sorry,
you, Sir Dominic.
Alright. So, sorry po, Cheers. Medyo nagkaroon tayo ng technical problem na kalimutan kong i-check yung ating battery level. So again, let me just share my screen. My entire screen. All right. Okay, and we're back to our demonstration for OBS. Again, cheers, ito na po yung ating output kanina. As I mentioned a while ago, napaka-importante na piliin yung tamang source, no, para sa ganon ay hindi tayo malito kung, let's say for example, wait, where's my presentation? Okay, yung shifting, okay, yung layers, napaka-importante din po para merong hindi natatakpan. So, for example, ito po yung ating presentation, itong nasa gitna. Pwede ba tayong mag-add pa ng extra like image? Pwede ba tayong mag-add ng extra pa na object in our presentation? Yes, of course. Pwede po nating gawin yon. Okay? So, paano natin gagawin? Again, to do that, we simply press add pa rin. Okay, add. Now, let's say for example, meron tayong media source. Usually, yung media source po is movie. Okay? Not movie, pero it's a clip, a video clip. Alright? So, pwede nyo pong piliin yung media source na yan. Okay? Pwede rin po kayo mag-display ng color source or browser. So, usually, ang browser po ay, kung meron po kayo naka-open na browser, so let's try to choose browser. And then, let's say this is for StreamYard. And then, again, make source visible. Do not forget to check that. Ayan, hanapin po natin yung StreamYard. Could not access. So, merong specific key na importante. Ayan. So, ilalagay po natin yung URL dito. Cheers. This will be the URL. Let's see, facebook.com. Gusto nyo ipakita yung mismong facebook.com. You simply type www.facebook.com. Let's try kung lalabas po ito, cheers. Ayan. And then, of course, the width and the length. Okay, ito po yung size ng mismong browser natin. Okay, width and length. Okay, width and height, sorry. Ayan. And control audio via OBS. Ito napaka-importante na for example, yung source natin ay may malakas na volume. It's good to check this para makontrol natin yung volume na yon para hindi masyadong malakas or hindi masyadong mahina. Okay? And also, it's good to, ito medyo CSS na po ito, no? Hindi ko na po ito isasabihin. Do, alam ko naman po yung ibig sabihin nito, but then medyo advanced na po ito. Usually mga IT teachers, computer teachers, alam po nila to. And then shut down source when not visible. Which means to say, kapag naging down or nawala yung mismong yung website na yon or yung browser na yon, you simply mag-end lang yun, makakat lang. Para hindi po magpapakita yung unnecessary na mga text or mga images. So, i-press lang po natin yung shutdown. Alright? So, i-click nyo lang po yan, if ever. Alright? Ayan po. Well, usually dito sa part ng URL, kailangan complete na URL. So, let's try www.youtube.com/she/roboguro. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. And then press OK. Ayan. So, ito po yung ating source, StreamYard. StreamYard nilagay natin, pero youtube.com, no? Ngayon, hindi po niya mahagilap kung nasaan yung site na yan. It's because maybe, reason is, ayan na po siya, mahina internet or mali yung URL na nilagay natin. Ayan po, cheers, no? Ito yung nilagay ko kanina na browser. I simply typed the correct and the complete browser URL. Ayan po. So this is me. You can check my channel, YouTube channel. I have some tutorials about coding and robotics also. Ayan. So pwede nyo i-resize if you wanted to. Alright? So this is for the browser. Now, since this is for YouTube, you can rename. Simply right-click again, and then you rename again. So this is my channel, for example. Ayan. Then you press enter. And then automatic naman po lalabas yung mismong name. Okay? And of course, if you want to change yung presentation, you can just simply move. Okay? Change lang po siya para sa ganun matakpan entirely yung lahat ng ibang sources ninyo. Okay? So I hope clear po tayo sa pagkakaiba ng browser, ng window, ng display capture. And of course, marami pa pong ibang pwedeng ilagay like image. Ayan. So image naman. So create new, let's say for example, my picture. Or my picture na lang. And then press OK. And then hanapin lang po ninyo yung picture na gusto niyong ipakita. Okay, so I think nasa desktop yung picture ko. Ito yung aking headshot. And then press OK. Upload image when not showing. Okay? Itong upload image when not showing pictures, pupunta sa mismong directory ng OBS. Ma-upload siya directly doon. Now, kung visible naman yung picture ninyo, it's okay lang na kahit hindi na i-check. As you can see here, visible po yung picture, no need to check. Okay? Ito po, no need to check na to. Okay? Ayan, so press natin ang okay. Pwede naman i-check, it's okay, no problem. Ayan po siya, laki ng mukha ko. Well, you can move this picture. Pwede nyo po siyang i-move. You can resize also. Again, to resize, hanapin po yung end natin. Ayan. So, it's good. Kung gusto nyo pong mag-record ng sarili niyo na nakatayo, pwede rin po ilagay niyo sa gilid. Pero dapat meron kayong green screen para mas maganda na tignan. Ayan. So, for example, ganyan lang po siya. And then if you want to hide, again, hide is to simply, lipatin niyo lang po yung layer mismo, yung position niya. Okay? To delete a source, you simply click the minus sign, select the source that you want to delete. Okay? Delete. Yes lang po natin siya. And then, yan na po yung final na output natin. Ayan na po siya. Ayan po. Okay, so I think okay na po tayo sa part ng scene and sources. Alright? Now, Sure, paano ako mag-shift into a scene, sa isang scene papunta sa kabilang scene? Simply, you press your scenes. Ito po siya. Ayan. So, ito na po ulit ako. Medyo sinisipon. So, from camera to presentation, i-click nyo lang po yung scene na gusto nyo ipakita at magpapalit po siya. Alright? As you can see here. Ayan po siya. Ayan. So, ayan po. That's how you create scene and that's how you add different sources to your scene. Okay? Now, the next part is the scene transition. Ito po. So, as you notice po, kapag nagpapalit ako ng scene, yan po yung transition ko. Ayan. What I'm going to do now is to change my transition between scenes. Okay? So, fade to color, luma wipe, cut. Pwedeng cut. Okay? Subukan po natin. Ayan po siya. So, napaka-importante din na piliin yung tamang transition para sa scene ninyo. Kung cut po kasi, ayan, parang medyo hindi dramatic. So, walang drama. Okay? So, palitan po natin, balik natin sa fade. Okay? And then you can increase the time interval para mag-switch to a different scene. Okay? So, pwedeng dagdagan to, let's say, 500, meaning mas matagal po siya mag-switch. Ayan po siya. Ayan. Okay? So, I hope clear po tong part na to. And the next thing to do is, ituturo ko tong controls na to. Okay? So, para saan ba tong controls na to? Itong controls na to po ay ginagamit natin para mag-stream, para mag-record ng yung presentation natin. So, since ang gusto natin is recording, you simply press start recording. Ayan. And automatic po na ito ay marirecord na po siya. Okay? So, try po natin start recording. And you can see po sa baba ko, recording po siya. At nandun po yung time, gaano na ba katagal yung recording. And at the same time, yung gamit ng OBS sa inyong mismong computer. Ayan, CPU 15.1%. And then you can see yung ating audio mixer, yung lakas ng ating microphone, pwede nyo pong i-adjust. Okay? Ayan. So, nagre-record na po to. And to stop recording again, of course, stop recording. Ayan. So, ganun lang po siya. Alright? So, saan po natin makikita yung na-record? Okay? Saan po natin makita yung na-record? Punta lang po tayo sa mismong file. Okay? And then, show recordings. Ayan po. So, ito po yung na-record today. It's 6:22. Ito po siya. So, click po natin to para makita nyo po yung kalalabasan. Ayan. So, don't check. Start recording. Ayan po. And you can see po sa baba ko, recording po siya. At nandun po yung time. Ayan. So, yan po yung recordings natin. Ayan. So, text na po natin to. So, dyan po ninyo makikita yung mga recordings. Ngayon, since magkakaiba po tayo ng computer, usually po, yung recording ko, mapupunta po siya sa movies. Ito po, folder ng movies. Ayan. So, you want to make sure na alam nyo po yung exact directory. Okay? Para hindi po kayo, kahit hindi nyo po i-open si OBS, alam nyo po kung nasan po yung recording na yun. So, for me, nakalagay po siya sa movies na folder ko. Okay? So, yun. X ko lang po ito. And then, back to OBS. Ayan po siya. So, yun po sa start recording. Now, paano naman po yung part ng settings? Punta po tayo sa settings. Paano ko isa-set yung resolution? Paano ko isa-set yung camera, yung speed, yung mga ganun po. So, punta po tayo sa settings. Ayan. So, sa general settings, dito nyo po makita, of course, yung general output, alignment, projectors, etc. So, language, usually po, ang pinipili ko is dark. Mahilig ako sa dark part. Okay. So, since dark, ito na po mismo. Okay. And then output, show confirmation dialogues when starting streams. Ito, customized naman po to. So, you can check or uncheck lang to. It's okay. Para, it's guide din also. Para sa ganun, if you're doing recording, makikita nyo na, okay, nag-record na ba? Teka, nag-record na ba? Saan ko ba makita kung nagre-record? So, pwede nyo pong i-check mga to. Halimbawa, ito automatically record when streaming. So, kung gusto nyo like mag-stream kayo, no? And then gusto nyo naka-record yung streaming niyo, you simply select automatically record when streaming. Okay? Ayan. So, that's for output. course, sensitivity, projectors, usually ito po medyo hindi ko na rin to ginagamit kasi it has nothing to do with the recordings ko naman. So default, keep it na ganyan lang po. Okay? So under sa stream, if you're doing Facebook live streaming or YouTube or kung gamer, no problem kasi meron tayong Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, Stream.io, Twitter, and of course, meron pang show all wherein you can see all the different browser or applications na pwede kayong mag-stream online. For the YouTube, no, you simply select YouTube, and then you get the stream key sa inyong YouTube. Okay? So I think, meron po ba tayong streamer dito sa YouTube or sa Facebook? Let me see the comment section. Para lang sa ganun, kahit pa paano, maituro ko pa rin po yung part na to. Okay, so check po natin yung comment section natin. Ayan. Meron po bang nag-stream sa YouTube or sa Facebook? Ayan, check lang po natin. I think wala ata, no? So, again, kapag nag-stream po kayo sa YouTube or sa Facebook, you need to simply select lang po kung ano yung gusto niyo, yung ginagamit niyo. Then the stream key. Usually, ang stream key po ay binibigay ng Facebook and YouTube. No need to create your own stream key. Okay? So, let me just show you real quick. Cancel ko muna to. Ayan. Here. So, show ko ulit po itong screen ko. And then, youtube.com. Ayan. Medyo matagal lang po siya, church, pero kaya naman. Ayan. So, this is YouTube. And then, if you're doing streaming sa YouTube or sa FB, automatic po na binibigay. Alright? So, medyo matagal lang po siya mag-load. Meron dito sa part sa taas, upper right corner na start live, create live. So, pag click nyo po yun, pupunta sa isang studio. Ito po siya. Okay? So, we're in and go live po siya. And go live. And then, another window will open wherein doon na po siya magbibigay ng different settings and yung mismong stream key. Madali lang din naman po siyang sundan. Okay? Hindi naman po siya mahirap. Ayan. So, that's for the streaming ng YouTube and FB. Sa FB po, I think, pwede naman din po sa FB, but of course, medyo complicated lang ng konti sa FB wherein usually page, no? Page ang ginagamit to do live streaming. Ayan. Ayan po siya. So, medyo matagal po yung internet ko. So, medyo, ayan. So, ito na, stream. Click nyo lang po yung stream. Ayan. So, loading lang po siya ng konti. Ayan. So, settings. Ayan. So, X ko lang po to. Ayan. So, ganun lang po siya kadaling intindihin. So, dito po sa stream, may magpapakita po dito na stream key. Save ko lang po muna to for the purpose of demonstration. And then, ito po, sa part na ito, medyo matagal lang po. Pero nakalagay na stream key. Ito po yung ikakopy nyo for your live stream using OBS. Okay, yung nandito po. Okay? So, just simply copy and then, of course, paste that in your OBS dito sa part na po na ito. So, start streaming. Okay? Cancel, sorry. So, sa settings, stream, and then dito nyo po ilalagay yung stream key. And then, after that, you press OK. Okay? You press OK na po after. Okay? Sa part ng output, usually, this has something to do with the quality. Okay? So, video bitrate, encoder, audio bitrate, and of course, recording. Kung saan gaya ng sabi ko, kung saan masisave po to. For me, nakasave siya sa movies. Kung gusto niyo yung ibang directory, simply press browse. Gusto niyo sa desktop, select desktop. Ayan po. Okay? So, this is for the recording. Again, yung recording path is where your recordings will be saved. You can change that by simply pressing browse. Kung gusto niyo sa desktop, documents, it's okay. And then press open lang po siya. Okay? And then, of course, recording quality is really important. You may choose high quality. You may choose indistinguishable quality, lossless quality. It's up to you po. So, always maybe high quality lang para sa ganun, mas maganda yung quality ng inyong recording. And the file type, MKV, FLB, MP4, MOV, it's up to you. For me, yung default ang ginagamit ko, which is the MKV. Right? And next, we have the encoder. Okay, so hindi ko masyadong pinapalitan po ito. Depending on your operating system, yun po yung dapat kung ano po yung operating system ninyo, kung ano lang yung specs, max niya, kaya niyang ibigay, yun lang din po. So usually, default na po ito and then simply press OK. Okay? So cancel ko muna po siya. Going back here. Audio, same sa audio. Kung anong meron kay extra audio, microphone, video, ito rin po, the size, the canvas size, right? Ito po siya. So you can just change. Hotkeys. Napaka-importante itong hotkeys. Why? It is because ang hotkeys po ang nagpapagaan ng buhay. So hindi kayo mag-alala kung, teka, napindot ko pa yung recording, napindot ko pa ito, or hindi. So recording po is, usually, ang ginagamit ko po is Shift R para mag-start and press R para mag-stop recording. You can use function keys, yung F1, F2, F3, F4. So it's up to you po, So ayan po siya. Sa camera, if you want to switch your camera, ito po yung mga hotkeys natin. Alright? And then simply press OK if you're done. And then sa advanced, hindi na masyado features. It has something to do with the video quality, recording din. Pero usually, advanced na po talaga ito. So no need to tackle this thing. Okay? So press OK if done na po kayo sa lahat ng settings niyo. So ganun lang po gamitin ang OBS. Ganun lang po siya kadaling gamitin. Also, you have the properties here. You have the filters here kung gusto nyo mag-add. You have the settings here. For example, for settings for your camera. So ganun lang po siya. Different scenes, different sources. Ayan po siya. So I hope clear po lahat, no? Yung mga important things na dapat meron sa mga lecture natin for this session. I think na-discuss na po natin lahat. And for this time, check po natin yung ating chat box. Sir Franco, kung meron po tayo mga questions na pwede natin i-entertain.
Yan, sir. Meron actually. Ito, unang-una from Teach Azeler Marzan. Okay. How would you compare OBS from Google Meet? Does this require large data?
Ayan. So how would you compare Google Meet and OBS?
OBS.
Large data. So usually, ayan, nag-talk po tayo. Sir Franco, nag-feedback po ata tayo. I think may isa po sa atin mag-mute ka muna, sir, para hindi mag-feedback. Try po natin. Ayan. So okay na po ata. Alright. Ayan. Thank you, sir. How would you compare OBS from Google Meet? Does this require large data? See, OBS po, sir, it's an application or software that we use to record our presentation, to record our presentation ourselves kung gusto natin ng online distance learning and meron tayong online distance learning. And also use this for live streaming. Si Google Meet po it's an online application. It's an online application wherein ginagamit po siya to, parang Zoom. Okay? Parang if you want to parang video conferencing, ginagamit si Google Meet for video conferencing. So magkaiba po si OBS and Google Meet. Google Meet is for video conferencing, OBS is for live streaming purposes and for recording po siya. Offline and online recording po siya. Ayan. So yun po yung difference between the two po. Does this require large data? Si OBS po kanina, I showed you before na merong system requirements. Windows 7 and up and macOS 10.13 and up or later. And Linux, kapag Linux, it's distribution 2014 and up po siya. Ayan po. So si Google Meet, kahit ano po ang gamit mo na computer, kahit mababang specs, you can use Google Meet. Alright? Browser-based lang po kasi siya. Where si OBS, kailangan computer yung gamit po para ma-install. Alright. Ayan, Sir Franco.
Sir Dom, ma-add ko lang, no? Si Google Meet po mabigat sa data.
Na-answeran po natin yung tanong ni Ma'am Marzan.
Yes. So, alright. Sir Dom,
yun. Questions pa, Sir, no? Meron pa po tayong question here. Yes, mabigat po.
Yes, mabigat po.
Okay. Sir Dom, baka naglalag si Sir Dom, no? Hintayin lang po natin yung yan. Sir Dom, naka-mute ka yata.
Ayan. I think
I
nawala
think
po tayo,
nawala
sir.
po tayo, sir.
Nawala po ata tayo,
Nawala
Sir
po ata tayo, Sir
Franco.
Franco.
Yan. Siguro teachers, no, bago tayo habang natin, no, siguro nagkakaroon lang ng technical glitches, no. So what is the best streaming software used nowadays? I think it depends, no, on how you're going to use it.
Sir, nawala po
For
ata tayo.
Nawala
Hello,
po ata
hello,
tayo.
sir.
Hello, hello,
hello.
sir.
Okay pa naman, sir. Baka naglalag lang po,
Naglalag po
Sir
tayo.
Dom.
Naglalag po tayo.
Ayan.
Yes.
Ayan.
So yun, teachers, no, pili lang po kayo iba't ibang streaming softwares. May iba't iba
Sir
silang
Franco,
Narinig
strengths
mo na
and
ba ako?
weaknesses.
Nandyan na po ata
Yes,
ako.
sir. Yes, sir.
Having trouble.
You're clear, no? You're loud and clear naman, sir.
Switch.
Yan. So, hintayin natin po si Sir Dom, no? Baka nagkakaroon lang ng technical problems, no? So, yun. So, yun, teachers, no? Again, different streaming devices, platforms, at different weaknesses and siguro strengths and weaknesses, no? So for example, OBS, medyo mahirap lang yung technicalities niya, pero ang dami niya kasing pwedeng gawin. Okay, so next week, we'll be looking at StreamYard. Mas madali siyang gamitin, pero mas limited din yung kanyang capacity to be able to provide varied and siguro mas technical aspect of streaming. Okay, so again, it depends on your preferences, no, for the use for the use of the streaming for you, okay? So wala talaga sigurong best, okay? It depends on the use, okay? Yung mga technical aspects will be looking at that, no? Which is better, OBS or StreamYard? It depends, na teachers. So for example, you are a YouTuber or you are yung talagang heavy use of streaming, I recommend OBS because it provides more flexibility. Pero for example, katulad ko for example na nag-stream ng mga contents like this, that I don't need too much editing or processing of the videos, I really use StreamYard lang, no? For that, okay? So I hope that I answer your question. Sir Buba will answer your question later, no? Um, and teachers, no, reminder lang, no? If you are streaming, okay, you have to have a good data connection, okay? Katulad po nakita nyo kanina, nahirapang mag-stream si ako or si Sir Dominic kanina kapag meron kaming problema sa connection kasi mabigat ang streaming sa data natin. Kaya lang, ang advantage ng teachers is that kapag naman naka-stream ka na, okay, yung mga students mo naman ang magbe-benefit dun sa pag-stream mo kasi hindi nila kailangan ng malaking data. Kasi for example, instead of doing your classes online, okay, and mag-Google Meet kayo, and meron kang presentation, for example, and i-Google Meet mo, no? Mabigat yun for your students to be able to process yung Google Meeting mo. Pero, for example, kung manonood lang sila ng video mo na naka-stream sa Facebook or kaya sa YouTube, mas magaan po yun sa data. So, using streaming as a form of delivering instruction actually benefits the students. Medyo mabigat lang sa teacher side, no? Kasi you'll have to have a really good connection or data, no? So yan, okay. Sir, PC laptop lang po OBS. Yes, Sir RJ, no, so far, no, hindi ito available sa sa mobile. Okay, so you have to have a desktop for your OBS. Okay, kahit StreamYard actually, I don't really see yet, no, a streaming platform that can be used in mobile. Although, for example, kung gusto mo mag-live lang, pwede ka na mag-FB live or YouTube live. Kaya lang pag ganung klase ng ng streaming, hindi ka pwede maglagay ng resources. Okay? So, if you want to share resources in your streams, kailangan mo talagang gumamit, Sir RJ, ng streaming platforms like OBS and StreamYard, and you'll have to have a desktop. Okay? Yan, Sir Dominic, you're back na po, no? Yan. Tanong pa po tayo mga ibang tanong. What is the maximum hours of recording? I don't think there is, no, Miss Arlene, no. Although, Miss Arlene, dapat po meron din tayong limit, no, kasi syempre yung recorded data video nyo will also weigh on your computer. So pag masyado kang mahaba yung recorded mo, bibigat din yung memory consumption nito sa computer mo. Okay? Tama ba ako, Sir Dominic? Wala namang limit, no, on the recorded time. Pwede kang mag-record ng mahaba. Sa StreamYard kasi wala eh. So, it could go as long as you want, no? Meron kay Miss Victoria Balbio, meron po bang ibang live streaming software aside from StreamYard and OBS? Definite there are, no? Madami pong streaming platforms and devices, no, and applications. Hindi lang ako aware kasi hindi ako nag-explore ng ibang streaming devices um, except OBS and StreamYard. Yan. Yun. Okay, unmute lang natin si Sir. Okay. Maybe while we're waiting for Sir other questions, yan. Na-disconnect lang po si Sir Dominic, no? Yan. Para lang po alam ng lahat, no? Yun. Okay. Other questions, teachers? Do you have other inquiries or things that you'd like to ask from Sir Dominic? Okay. Yan. Medyo na di-disconnect lang si Sir. Pero again, that's part of our challenges and distance learning. So teachers, while we're waiting, no, for our speaker to come back and to answer some of your more of your questions, okay? Yes, okay, no, yung po mga leather mat, no, may mga tatanong sa leather mat, no, we'll be sending them soon, okay? We're just arranging our logistics to send you your leather mats, okay? Si Sir Aljo ba to? Sir Aljo, I don't know, no? I can confirm kung nasa list nga po ba kayo. Anyway, we'll be sending them soon, okay? Sir, ask ko paano po green background. Miss ba to? Sir Dorts Bugarin? Green background po, basically, sir, when you're recording yourself, for example, kung magre-record po kayo, instead of having like, for example, a random background, you simply have a green background sa likod niyo po. Okay, so you could be a cloth, could be a wall na painted ng green. Kasi po, pag ganun, hindi po kinakapture ng camera niya yan. So, pag in-overlay niyo po yan sa OBS or sa inyong mga videos, hindi po lalabas yung background niyo. Okay, so basically, kayo lang po yung lalabas. Okay? But of course, teachers, na ingat din tayo. Huwag po tayo magsusuot ng blue or green. So usually yan ng mga hindi kinukuha ng mga videos natin. Okay? So yan po. So pwede po kayo mag-green screen. No? You can actually make that up. Yes, Miss Lucita, no, meron ako actually upcoming video for that, no. Ang My View board, pwede rin siya mag-live stream, yes. Through your Facebook or to your YouTube channel. Okay? We'll explore that, Miss Lucita, no. We'll be giving you more training, no, for My View board naman. Thank you so much for sharing knowledge and experience to us. Likewise to you, Sir Franco and Kaagapay. Maraming salamat. Welcome po. Miss Victoria, sir, di po ba may number hours lang ang live streaming? Miss Victoria, sa ano po? Sa yung recorded kasi. Yan. Yung recorded po kasi, hindi kami sure. Okay? Pero sa streaming po, meron kayong limit. For example, kung if you're using the live version of StreamYard, you only have 20 hours of live streaming per month. Okay, so per month po yan. Okay, pero ayun, teachers, no, dapat hindi yan basta-basta nauubos unless talagang heavy user ka or heavy streamer ka. Okay? So, yan, maraming salamat po. Yun, so, again teachers 'no, sana nasagot namin yung mga tanong niyo. It's unfortunate na medyo nagkakaroon lang ng problema sa connection si Sir Dominic, okay. So, but we'll have him, maybe a little later 'no, so tingnan lang po natin. Okay, so teachers, it's time for some, reminders, and, some, announcements 'no. Unang-una po teachers, bago po ibigay ang ating evaluation link for this training session. Please take note, we're going to have our second installment of our October series on equipping teachers with tools to support and manage distance learning. Okay, so live po yan via our YouTube channel on October 10, 10 a.m. po. Morning session po yan. Ano? Teachers, dito pag-uusapan natin ano pa yung mga tools na pwede natin gamitin to support no and manage distance learning? Kasi nasa distance learning na tayo. It's already on its way. We're implementing it. We're deploying our modules. But how do we manage it? How do we support it so that it's sustained all throughout? Okay, so we'll be giving you some tips, some tools, some approaches, strategies to be able to manage and support your distance learning. So for example, checking assessments, tracking attendance, okay, making your synchronous sessions more engaging, and things like that, no? So medyo madami tayong i-cover. It's a heavy and full jam-packed okay, session on Saturday. So we'll be seeing you on Saturday 10 a.m. for this live for the second installment of our October series. Okay. And some reminders now for our webinar reminders, okay? Just to remind us no of important things. Okay, so yung number one, evaluation link will be given at the end of the training. So after this, I will be giving the evaluation link for all of you. And take note, there will be an assessment. Okay, so there will be a 5 question. Okay, about what we discussed today. After answering the evaluation and passing the assessment, your certificates will be sent to you via email in 5 to 7 days. And teachers, again, always check our Facebook page because we announce in our Facebook page when do we release, no, if we have released your certificates already. Okay, and teachers na yung mga certificates na yan, mamahalin kayo ng mga certificates namin na yan. Alam na po ng mga um, um, avid and constant attendees namin sa aming mga webinars na ang certificates nila ay very specially made for them. Okay? So, teachers, let's welcome back no before while siguro habang nag-evaluate po kayo Sir Dominic, are you still with us? Can you still answer some questions? Okay. I'll be sharing now the evaluation link. No? Now, teachers, let me just check on this one. Yan, nahirapan yata mag-connect si Sir Dominic. Okay, anyway, teachers, while we're waiting for Sir Dominic, no? Ayun, Sir Dominic.
Yes,
Yun.
sir. Naririnig niyo po ba ako?
Yes, we can hear you now. Okay. Yan, Sir Dominic, are you still okay to answer some questions? Sir Dominic? Okay, anyway, while we're waiting for Sir Dominic, no, here's our evaluation link. So you will now start your evaluations. If you have questions, you may still post them in our live chat, and we'll try. Sir Dominic will try to answer them. Okay. So please indulge us with your questions while we're waiting.
Yes, sir.
While we're
Yung question kanina about green screen, I think importante rin na ma-discuss yun na may turo ko. So,
Go ahead,
isi-share ko yung screen ko po ulit para sa ganun may yung green screen.
Okay, sir. Sige lang po, balikan natin yung green screen kasi importante po ito, teachers, no? Evaluation link again later. We'll be showing it. Thank you.
So, I hope you can still hear me po. Let me just answer your question. Ay, sir, nagfi-feedback ata. Nagfi-feedback. And so, about dun sa green screen, delete ko lang po ito para sa ganun may pakita ko yung green screen. So, this is my camera. Okay? For example, meron kayong background. Yung sabi ni Sir Franco kanina na green cloth. Okay? For you to be able to use that, kailangan po na meron kayong mag-add kayo ng camera or yung tinatawag natin na where's that? Video capture device. Okay? And then let's say
Sir Dom?
camera. And then simply press OK again. Ito po yung sa settings na naituro natin kanina. Okay? So meron tayong camera 2. Okay? Ayan. So delete lang po natin to, existing natin. Yung ating camera 2. You wanna make sure na check natin yung settings and then OK. Ayan po. For example, ang background ninyo is green and you want to remove the background. Okay? So yung green screen po natin, ganito po siya. Punta po tayo sa My Filters. Ito po. Filters. Click nyo po yung filters. And then mag-e-effect yung effect filters po natin. Plus sign, chroma key. Ayan, chroma key. And then, green screen, for example. And then, okay. And then, key color type. Pipili po kayo kung ano yung background ninyo. If it's green, if it's blue. Usually po, ang ginagamit is green and blue lang. So, green. And then, some of the settings, really important to check. Pero usually, automatic na po ito. And then, simply press close. But since I don't have a green screen, my back, so ang mangyari po, wala po siyang, and yan. So, wala pong mangyayari doon kasi wala po akong green screen sa likod ko. So, ganun po yung green screen under sa filters. Same with the audio and video. Kung gusto po ninyo, yan. So, you can change the compressor, expander, gain, yan. But, again, yung green screen po natin, dito lang po yan sa part ng filters. Yan. Sa chroma key lang po yun. Automatic po pag may green screen, okay, ganun, ang mangyayari po, mawawala po tong aking background na to. Okay? Kung ano po yung nilagay ko sa likod, yun po yung magpapakita. Let's say, moving objects or video, yun po yung magpapakita. Kung meron akong green screen po. Ayan po. So, ganun po yung paggawa ng paggamit ng green screen sa OBS. Alright, so I think na-answeran ko na Sir Franco. Stop sharing na ulit ako.
Yan, sir. Sir, ang galing po, no? Nakakatuwa yan. So anyway, sir, maraming salamat po for answering that question. So again, teachers, it's time now to say goodbye and big goodbye to Sir Dominic. And Sir Dominic, maraming salamat for spending your time with us and sharing with us your expertise. I hope you've seen the comments of our audience. They well appreciated your efforts, your expertise, and your sharing for today. So again, maraming salamat po. Okay, so yan teachers, I'm showing again your evaluation link. So please don't forget to do your evaluation and wait for your certificates in 5 to 7 days. Okay, maraming salamat po ulit. And we'll see you again on our next skill training series on next week on still streaming about StreamYard naman. Okay, so kakalabanin po natin ng OBS. Just kidding. Wala naman pong competition ng OBS at StreamYard dito. We're all training you to be able to choose the proper tools and the appropriate tools that you can use for your distance learning. So maraming salamat po ulit teachers and have a nice day. It's midweek already, past midweek, and congratulations for those who have deployed their modules once again. And we continue to pray for all of you, and we appreciate all your efforts in not giving up and making sure that our students, our Filipino youth still get the education that they deserve from all of us. Okay, maraming salamat po ulit. Happy Teachers Day po ulit. Extended po ang Teachers Day sa KTS. Okay, so everyday Teachers Day. So maraming salamat po. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, teachers, and we'll see you on Saturday.